Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to dive deep into the Eat to Live cookbook and break down Dr. Joel Fuhrman's really powerful approach to food. We're talking about a way of eating that he says can not only help you get to your ideal weight, but could even push the boundaries of how long and how well you live.
But let me just start by asking you a question. What if I told you that your health, your longevity, even your ability to fight off disease could pretty much be boiled down to a simple formula?
According to Dr. Fuhrman, what you're looking at isn't just a meal. It's a symptom of a much bigger problem. He argues that our modern diet, the one that's so heavy on processed foods and animal products, is really the main thing driving all these chronic diseases we see everywhere.
In this quote, it really gets to the heart of a huge shift in thinking. The idea isn't that getting sick is just bad luck or bad genes. Dr. Fuhrman's whole point is that the real power to change our health, it lies in the choices we make every single day.
Okay, so if the old way of eating isn't working for so many of us, what's the alternative? Well, that brings us right to the core idea behind Eat to Live, which is becoming something called a Nutritarian. So what is a Nutritarian? It's basically someone who gets that food isn't just fuel, it's information. It can even be medicine. The goal is to pack your diet with foods that have the most disease-fighting, health-promoting, and life-extending power. Okay, let's dive into this because this is where it gets really interesting. At the absolute heart of this entire philosophy is a really simple but incredibly powerful equation. H equals N divided by C. So what on earth does that actually mean for your health? Well, here it is. This is the health equation. Your health is predicted by your nutrient intake divided by your calorie intake. Just think back to that burger and soda for a second. Tons and tons of calories, right? But hardly any nutrients. The goal here is to flip that completely on its head, to get the absolute most vitamins, minerals, and phytochemicals out of every single calorie you eat. Now, that all sounds great in theory, but how do you actually do that? What do you eat? Well, Dr. Fuhrman came up with a super simple acronym to help you remember the most powerful, nutrient-packed foods on the entire planet. Okay, get ready to meet your new best friends, G-BOMBs. It stands for greens, beans, onions, mushrooms, berries, and seeds. These are the foods you want to build your entire diet around. I mean, each one is a powerhouse on its own, but when you eat them together, they work as a team to supercharge your immune system against all sorts of chronic diseases. And to make this whole concept of nutrient density crystal clear, Dr. Fuhrman even developed something called the Andy score. Think of it as a way to scientifically measure that H equals N over C equation. It scores food on a scale from 1 to 1,000 based on how many nutrients you get per calorie. The higher the score, the better it is for you. And wow, this chart just lays it all out, doesn't it? It's so clear. Over on the far left, you've got kale, hitting a perfect 1,000. It's practically pure nutrition. Now look all the way over on the other side. Cheddar cheese is down at 11, and cola, it's barely even on the chart at a 1. The difference here isn't just big, it's a chasm. So, if we take all this and apply it, what does our plate of food actually look like? Well, get ready because it's probably going to look a whole lot different than the food guides you're used to seeing. And here it is, the big reveal. This is that paradigm shift in action. Look at the plate on the left. That's the one most of us recognize, the one where meat and dairy are major players. Now look to the right. That's the Nutritarian plate. It's just dominated by vegetables, fruits, and beans. Animal products, they're not the main event anymore. They're more like a small side, taking up less than 10% of your calories. But this isn't just about some theory or numbers on a chart. Where this all really hits home is in the real-life results. The book is just packed with these incredible stories of people whose lives were totally turned around. I mean, just take Robert's story. He was over 400 pounds, dealing with diabetes, arthritis. He needed a motorized wheelchair just to get around. After he switched to this way of eating, he didn't just lose 200 pounds, he sold his wheelchair and got his entire life back. Or how about Jill's story, which is just incredible. After 8 years of going through the heartbreak of infertility treatments, she decided to try the Eat to Live plan. And the result? She lost 85 pounds and, amazingly, got what years of medicine couldn't give her, a healthy pregnancy. So you're probably wondering, okay, this is amazing, but what do I actually do every day? Well, the plan really boils down to 5 simple, non-negotiable guidelines. Every single day, the goal is to eat a big salad as your main dish, at least a half cup of beans, 3 fresh fruits, an ounce of raw nuts and seeds, and 1 big serving of cooked green veggies. And listen, what you add to your plate is important, but what you take away, that's just as crucial. This means you really have to cut way back on the foods with the lowest nutrient density. We're talking processed meats, fried foods, full-fat dairy, sugary drinks, and anything made with that refined white flour. You see, what this all comes down to is that the power is really back in your hands. It's asking us to stop looking at food as just entertainment and start seeing it for what it is, the absolute foundation of our health. So the real question is, what are you going to choose to build with?